So, all right. So we are out here at the homestead on this good afternoon, on this great afternoon. We just thought we'd come out here and talk about the philosophy or framework that is guiding our homesteading journey. Since we started, showing what we are doing, we thought this would be an appropriate time just to discuss and put out there, our thoughts about what we are doing, why we are doing it, and where we want to take it. How has it been for you, and where are we going with this?
Yeah, so we've only just started. We are fairly new in this, but we have gained quite some insights, and we are heading towards where we're aspiring to be. And where is this that we're aspiring to be? From our discussions, we've always talked about how in life there's a spectrum of a sliding scale where you've got dependency on the one end and independence or sovereignty on the other end. And we're aspiring to be on the other end where we've got independence. Yeah. But what is that dependency?
Okay, so the way we understand dependence is, at least the way that we have, conceptualized it and how it has informed our decisions on homesteading and how we are charting our own costs concerning homesteading. Dependence is a place where you're basically dependent. You're dependent on the systems that have been established for your survival, primarily to do with food, okay? Where you have to go to the supermarket ever so often in the week, 3, 4, 5 times, sometimes a week, where you, depending on how much you're buying at a time, to go and pick up the most basic of things, tomatoes, carrots, vegetables, milk, for example. So people in urban areas, for the most part, are heavily dependent. They're dependent on these systems. And some studies have shown that if the supermarkets were not to receive any supplies, what they are carrying today would last only 3 days. So this is just a general study. It may or may not apply to our context here in Zimbabwe, but it gives us an idea of what dependence is and what it means, when you're living in an urban setting. So our coming out here to homesteading is in pursuit of moving up the spectrum of that sliding scale from a place of dependency where you're growing your own food, you're growing your own vegetables, for example. So the moment you start doing that, to us, you're actually moving away from dependence. Like I said, most people are dependent on supermarkets or the urban markets for the most basic of things. One of the reasons being that there's not enough time in an urban setting to grow. There's not enough space. Most people live in very small spaces. They would rather look for the money to buy these items than to grow them, because they don't have space and maybe they don't have the skill, or they just would rather buy. But in looking for the money, there's also the other side of it, which is your health. Okay, because for you to work for the money that you need to be sustained in an urban setting, it takes a toll on you as well psychologically. All the traffic congestion, all the things that happens in an urban setting, the crime and things like that, it comes with that package. So homesteading is, for us, really is a place where you are kind of like in charge of your destiny to the fullest extent possible. Of course, you will still have certain things, applied on you, or still, under the cover of the law and policies and things like that. That's all right. But in essence, the idea is to be in a place where you are able to, to choose how fast your life is, right? What you eat. Because most people today, we don't even know what we are eating when we go to the supermarket and buy the canned foods, or you hear rumors of vegetables that have got a lot of fertilizer, for example. But when you have got your own piece of land, or when you've got access to one where you are growing these things, then you know what's getting into those things, and which means you are independent of a system that may want to put dangerous chemicals into your food, but you're growing your own food, and therefore you are you are in control of that aspect of your life. Never mind the outdoors here, the air, just the peace of mind, the tranquility where you wake up every day and kind of determine the pace of the day, how the day goes and things like that. And all the other things in the perks, for example, a lower cost of living. We notice when we're in town, when we're in Harare, every time you step out of the house, we've talked to other people who confirm this, it's a $10, $20, $30 a pop. Okay, just about every time. It's either you're putting fuel in your car, you are doing something that takes away money from your pocket. Just about every single time. If you're going out with children, it's even worse, because every time $10, $20, $30, $40, $50 a pop. But out here, you can go for weeks without having to go to any place where you spend money. Okay, so that alone controls or manages your financial stress. For example, how am I going to get money for this, money for that, because your spending is just way too low. But again, if you want all these niceties, you can simply drive to the nearest town. You can have your pizza, you can have all the other things. So,
or you can even make them yourself.
You can even make it yourself, yeah.
And you know what's in your pizza.
That's right, yeah. So in other words, coming out to the homestead does not mean you're actually banishing or say, oh, I'm not going to have all the niceties from town. But you can do that. It's just a matter, like I said at the beginning, of having this control to determine where you are in the spectrum. To depart from the place of dependency and start going to aspiring to a place of sovereignty where you are, when you are your own person, who is not caused to jump around because of a business system that wants to sell things to you, and they put you in a certain corner, and where you have to be part of the market, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a simple life here. No bells and whistles, but just simplicity at its best.
And another thing to add is that homesteading, the way we are looking at it, the way we are taking it, is you would see in the chapters that we have put out, is that we are taking it a day at a time, block by block building. Our understanding and appreciation of our context is that it's not a sprint, but it's a marathon. So one day at a time, until we get to where we want to get to. So yeah, if you're going to do homesteading, I think that it's probably the best way to approach it. To understand that it takes time. It takes time. For example, getting the land, start building on the land. So it's not going to be like once everything is up there, but it will take time for you to build. For example, the driveway where we are in now, where at the beginning it wasn't like that. There were a lot of stamps, it had to be cleared, there were trees, but today it's looking like it's a driveway, and it's going to get to the next stage and the next stage after, and it goes on. So it's the entire building as well as the yard itself. So yeah, that's what we are understanding about homesteading. That's what we've accepted. That's how the journey works, and we're willing to take a day at a time as we go.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and for watching all the videos. We hope, at least going by the feedback, we get that you're getting something out of it. We appreciate that, and we'll see you on the next one.